The Galactic Weapons Expo buzzed with the chatter of thousands of voices, each vying for dominance in the sprawling venue. Elias Ward, a seasoned human gunsmith, methodically arranged his weapons on the modest booth that looked almost archaic amidst the gleaming alien technology surrounding him. The air was thick with the scent of polished metal and ozone, an undercurrent of excitement electrifying the atmosphere. Elias glanced around, his gray eyes sharp and discerning. His apprentice, Lyra, a young woman with bright eyes and an eager demeanor, stood beside him, her hands trembling slightly as she set down their most prized creation, a meticulously crafted rifle. "Elias, do you think they'll even give us a chance?" Lyra asked, her voice a mix of doubt and determination. "Every craftsman here started somewhere," Elias replied, his voice steady. "It's not about where you start, but how you finish." Just then, a ripple of laughter broke through the ambient noise. Zorith, a towering alien with a haughty demeanor and a reputation for cutting-edge plasma blasters, sauntered over, his entourage in tow. His eyes, a chilling shade of blue, scanned Elias's booth with a mix of amusement and disdain. "Is this what humans call weaponry?" Zorith sneered, picking up one of the rifles and examining it as though it were a relic from the past. "I thought your kind had evolved beyond sticks and stones." Elias remained unfazed, his expression calm. "Our weapons may look simple, but they're built with precision and care." Zorith's laugh echoed, drawing the attention of nearby exhibitors and attendees. "Precision and care? Let's see how your primitive tools measure up to real technology." He turned to the crowd. "How about a demonstration? Human craftsmanship versus the finest plasma blaster in the galaxy." The challenge hung in the air, heavy with expectation. Elias nodded, stepping forward. "We accept." Lyra's eyes widened, but she quickly composed herself. She had seen Elias work wonders with his hands, turning raw materials into masterpieces of engineering. As they prepared for the demonstration, her nervousness was replaced by a growing sense of pride. The firing range was set up with various targets, each designed to test accuracy, speed, and reliability. Zorith confidently showcased his plasma blaster first, its bright blue energy bolts hitting the targets with pinpoint precision and almost effortless ease. As the crowd murmured in approval, Elias stepped up with his rifle. The sleek, polished wood and metal gleamed under the lights. He took a deep breath, his hands steady, his mind focused. With a series of sharp, controlled movements, he fired. Each shot was accompanied by a satisfying crack, and every target fell with precise accuracy. The murmurs turned to gasps of astonishment. The rifle's performance was flawless, its precision and reliability undeniable. The final target shattered, and the range fell silent. Zorith's smug expression faltered, replaced by a grudging respect. "Not bad, human. Not bad at all." Elias nodded, acknowledging the compliment without a trace of arrogance. "It's not about the weapon, but the hand that wields it." As the crowd dispersed, many now casting appreciative glances at the human booth, Elias turned to Lyra, a small smile playing on his lips. "This is just the beginning. We have much more to show them." Lyra's eyes sparkled with renewed determination. "Let's make sure they never forget it." The energy at the Galactic Weapons Expo surged as whispers of Elias Ward's surprising demonstration spread like wildfire. Attendees who had previously dismissed the human booth now gathered, eyes wide with curiosity. The air thrummed with renewed excitement, and the scent of polished metal mingled with the faint tang of ozone. Elias stood at the firing range, his fingers still tingling from the rifle's precise recoil. Lyra, her initial nerves now replaced with confidence, busily prepared their next weapon for display. Her hands moved deftly, setting up their precision sniper rifle with meticulous care. "Elias, they're all watching us now," Lyra said, a hint of exhilaration in her voice. "Good," Elias replied, his tone steady. "Let them see what human craftsmanship truly means." As they worked, Zorith approached once more, his expression unreadable. "You performed admirably, human, but one trick doesn't make you a master." Elias met his gaze, unflinching. We have more than one trick. Zorith smirked, gesturing to the next target setup, an intricate series of moving holograms designed to test tracking and accuracy. Then prove it. The challenge was accepted with a silent nod. The crowd watched in hushed anticipation as Elias adjusted the sniper rifle, its sleek barrel gleaming under the artificial lights. He took a deep breath, calming his nerves, and focused on the first target. With practiced ease, he tracked the swiftly moving hologram, pulling the trigger with a sharp, controlled squeeze. The target blinked out of existence, a perfect hit. The crowd erupted in applause, but Elias wasn't finished. He smoothly transitioned to the next target, his movements fluid and precise. Each shot was accompanied by the satisfying crack of the rifle and the electronic hum of the disappearing holograms. Lyra watched with pride, her mentor's skill reaffirming her faith in their work. She glanced at Zorith, noting the tightening of his jaw and the flicker of frustration in his eyes. The shift in the alien's demeanor was palpable. Impressive, Zorith admitted grudgingly as the final hologram vanished. But precision isn't everything. What about power? Elias raised an eyebrow. Power is nothing without control. Zorith's eyes narrowed, and he stepped closer. Then let's test both. He signaled to his team, who brought forward a heavy, imposing plasma cannon. My plasma cannon versus your best weapon. The tension in the air thickened, and the crowd leaned in, eager for the next showdown. Lyra felt a pang of doubt, but Elias's calm presence steadied her. Elias turned to her, his voice low. Fetch the prototype. Lyra nodded, hurrying to their booth to retrieve their latest creation. A hybrid weapon combining traditional ballistic engineering with advanced energy modulation. The prototype was a testament to their relentless innovation and dedication to pushing boundaries. As she returned, Elias took the weapon, feeling its weight and balance. The crowd fell silent as he aimed at the reinforced target at the far end of the range. The target was designed to withstand immense force, a true test of power and precision. Elias fired, and the weapon roared to life, a blinding beam of energy combined with a ballistic round hurtling towards the target. The impact was explosive, the target disintegrating into a shower of sparks and debris. The crowd gasped, the sheer power and control of the weapon leaving them in awe. Zorith's eyes widened, and for the first time, a flicker of genuine respect crossed his features. Elias lowered the weapon, meeting Zorith's gaze with quiet confidence. Human ingenuity isn't about one thing, it's about mastering everything. The murmurs of the crowd echoed like a distant thunderstorm, and the metallic tang of anticipation filled the air. Elias Ward stood tall, the aftermath of his prototype's impressive display still rippling through the expo hall. Zorith, his alien rival, stared at the obliterated target, his expression a mix of frustration and grudging respect. Elias, what's our next move? Lyra asked, her voice low yet steady. Elias glanced around, noting the increased interest in their booth. We keep pushing forward. We have one more ace up our sleeve. As they began setting up their final weapon, a compact yet devastating railgun, Kaldar, a tall alien delegate with shimmering green skin and an air of quiet authority, approached. He had been watching the humans closely, his interest piqued by their unexpected prowess. Your demonstration was remarkable, Kaldar said, his voice smooth and articulate. Perhaps human technology is not as primitive as we thought. Thank you, Elias replied, meeting Kaldar's gaze. We have one more weapon to showcase. Would you care to witness it up close? Kaldar nodded, intrigued. I would be honored. As they prepared, Zorith loomed nearby, his frustration palpable. He couldn't afford another loss. His reputation was on the line. His entourage whispered urgently, their nervous glances betraying their unease. Zorith silenced them with a sharp gesture, his eyes fixed on Elias. The firing range was reconfigured for the railgun demonstration, with reinforced targets set at extreme distances. The railgun, sleek and futuristic, pulsed with a faint blue light as it charged. The air grew still, tension mounting with each passing second. Let's show them what precision really means, Elias murmured to Lyra, who nodded and took her position beside him. With a deep breath, Elias aimed the railgun. The crowd held its collective breath, the silence almost deafening. He fired, and the weapon discharged with a blinding flash of blue energy, the projectile streaking through the air with pinpoint accuracy. The target, almost a mile away, shattered into fine dust. The spectators erupted in applause, the sound a wave of approval washing over Elias and Lyra. Even Kaldar seemed impressed, his expression thoughtful. "Impressive range and precision," Kaldar remarked. "Your technology is indeed formidable." Elias nodded in acknowledgement, but before he could respond, Zorith stepped forward, his face a mask of determination. "I challenge you to a final test," he declared, his voice cutting through the applause. "A direct competition, your railgun against my plasma cannon. Best of 3 shots." The crowd buzzed with excitement at the prospect of another showdown. Elias exchanged a glance with Lyra, who nodded in silent agreement. "We accept," Elias said firmly. The targets were reset, this time even more challenging, tiny, fast-moving drones programmed to evade. Zorith took his position first, his plasma cannon humming with power. He fired, and the first drone was vaporized, but he missed the second, hitting only 2 out of 3. Elias stepped up next, his focus unwavering. He aimed, and the railgun discharged with its characteristic blue flash. The first drone shattered, then the second, and finally the third, all hit with impeccable accuracy. The crowd's roar was deafening, the outcome clear. Zorith's expression darkened, but he extended a hand to Elias. "You have proven your worth, human. Today you have my respect." Elias shook his hand, a gesture of mutual acknowledgement. "Thank you, Zorith. This is just the beginning." The applause from the crowd still echoed in Elias Ward's ears as he and Lyra returned to their booth. The once skeptical throng now buzzed with genuine admiration for the human gunsmiths. Their victory against Zorith had earned them not just respect, but a newfound place in the galactic community. Elias's gaze swept over the Expo, taking in the curious glances and nods of approval. The atmosphere had shifted dramatically, and with it so had their prospects. "What's next, Elias?" Lyra asked, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Elias smiled, a sense of pride swelling within him. "We've shown them our strength. Now we need to build on this momentum." As they began packing up their booth, Kaldar approached, his demeanor respectful. "Elias, Lyra, I must say, your performance was extraordinary. I would like to discuss a potential collaboration between your craftsmanship and our advanced materials." Elias's eyes lit up. "That sounds promising. Let's talk details." The conversation flowed naturally, ideas and plans exchanged with a sense of mutual respect. But as they spoke, a commotion erupted at the far end of the expo hall. Elias turned, his instincts on high alert. A group of alien mercenaries had breached the security perimeter, their intentions clear as they brandished weapons and moved towards the central stage where dignitaries were gathered. The expo descended into chaos, attendees scrambling for cover. "Lyra, stay close," Elias commanded, his voice steady despite the rising tension. He grabbed the prototype weapon, its weight familiar and reassuring in his hands. Kaldar, his eyes narrowed in determination, nodded. "I'll coordinate with security. Keep them distracted." Elias and Lyra moved swiftly through the panicked crowd, using the confusion to their advantage. The mercenaries had taken hostages, demanding access to the advanced technology on display. Their leader, a hulking figure with a scarred face, barked orders, his weapon trained on the dignitaries. Elias positioned himself behind a pillar, assessing the situation. "We need to neutralize their leader first," he whispered to Lyra. "He's the linchpin." Lyra nodded, her face set in determination. "I'll provide cover. You take the shot." Elias adjusted the prototype, its energy humming with latent power. He took a deep breath, steadying his aim. Lyra stepped out, her own weapon firing precise shots that drew the mercenaries' attention. The leader snarled, turning towards Lyra, and in that split second, Elias fired. The shot was perfect, the leader's weapon exploding in a burst of blue energy. The mercenaries hesitated, their formation breaking as security forces, led by Kaldar, moved in to subdue them. With the immediate threat neutralized, the expo hall gradually calmed. The hostages were freed, and the dignitaries expressed their gratitude to Elias and Lyra. "You saved us," one of the dignitaries said, a frail-looking alien with large, expressive eyes. "Your courage and skill are truly remarkable." Elias nodded humbly. "We did what had to be done." As the chapter drew to a close, the crowd's respect for the human gunsmiths had solidified into something deeper, a recognition of their bravery and ingenuity. Elias and Lyra stood together, knowing they had not only proven their worth, but had also forged alliances that would shape their future. Kaldar approached once more, his expression sincere. "Your actions today have not only demonstrated your craftsmanship but also your character. I look forward to our collaboration." Elias shook his hand firmly. "As do I, Kaldar. This is just the beginning."